Welcome to the channel. My name is Coach and I'm your go-to source for everything relating to Evolve, and I'm feeling really good today because this episode of Evolve, it was once again another really solid episode. Evolve surprisingly has been one of the better shows for weekly television, especially considering everything else going on, because Raw and SmackDown, it's not the best right now. It's not better than NXT. NXT is still the top dog, but Evolve, it's really solid, especially for a 1 hour show. So let's just go right into the show. It opened up with Shawn Legacy, the face of Evolve, going up against Ice Williams, a nice little rivalry match. Shawn Legacy has been picking up loss after loss, and as the face of Evolve, that's not a good sign. So Ice Williams has been trying to get into his head, trying to take that spot as face of Evolve, and that's where this match comes in. It's a really good match. I'm continuously impressed by how good Shawn Legacy is, not to take away from Ice Williams, but I feel like Shawn Legacy is one of those guys that can right now go to NXT. He just has that natural babyface energy that you could really use on NXT right now. Not saying that there isn't any babyfaces on NXT, obviously we have Javon Evans, but like a pure white meat babyface, that's what Shawn Legacy offers. Now Shawn Legacy ends up winning this match. I feel that's the right decision they could have made, because even last week on my Evolve review I said, you can't keep feeding him losses, so he picks up the victory. After the match, he's questioned by Chewy, where he says that he wants the Evolve Championship, but he knows he needs to get into the right headspace, so right now he's only going to focus on picking up victories, getting his mind right, getting his body right, and when that opportunity comes, he's going to take the championship. It was funny to me though, because one of the commentators said that maybe this victory can put Shawn Legacy on the map for the Evolve #1 contendership. I'm just like, dude, no, what the fuck? He just lost like 3-4 major matches in a row. Not one victory over Ice Williams, who's just returning to Evolve, isn't going to give him that #1 contendership match. But we're going to talk about who's the #1 contender later. But for now, after the interview, Edris Enofe also comes about. He goes about mocking Shawn Legacy before stating the claim that he's also after the Evolve Championship. This is a feud I quite would like. Edris Enofe's story with Dante Chen didn't interest me at all, but a feud with Shawn Legacy I think could be really good. I feel like these two characters and wrestlers match really well. So that's a feud I'd like to see, and it could put Shawn Legacy back on the right track towards the Evolve Championship. After this, we head backstage for a few segments. Kylie Rae is there and she's talking about how she hates Chanel Monroe and she's not gonna let Chanel Monroe win that championship before her. That's the reason she interfered in her match last week, costing Chanel Monroe the Evolve Women's Championship. But she says she's excited to face Masyn Holiday tonight because she respects her a lot. I'm very conflicted on Kylie Rae, because as cool as she is, I don't see her purpose in Evolve. I get it, you need a few veterans to pull out the show so that it's not just full of rookies and talent who aren't established. But come on, like Kylie Rae, she's not old, but I feel like she's way beyond having to be on Evolve. So I wonder what her future is, because I also can't see her going to NXT. So is she just going to be on Evolve forever, or what's up? But let's talk about her match against Masyn Holiday. A really great match. Masyn Holiday is really good. I liked the little segment that we had last week that built her up. That was pretty cool. And she seems a bit slow sometimes, but hey, she's still very new, so I don't mind. Apparently she tried out once for WWE, got rejected, but then got accepted on her second try, so at least she seems dedicated. But yeah, she's very good, but she loses to a tap out. Kylie Rae makes her tap out. I like this. You don't often see tap out victories, submission victories in wrestling anymore. I mean, I've been watching NXT and TNA consistently for about 2 years now, and then SmackDown and Raw on occasions. You don't really get clean submission victories, so it's nice seeing that. Although I did not like Masyn Holiday losing, I'm surprised Chanel Monroe didn't get involved. I felt like they were going to give Masyn Holiday the major victory over Kylie Rae, but they're also going to be like, Kylie Rae didn't lose fairly because Chanel Monroe kind of interfered, but Chanel Monroe didn't even make a single appearance, so that was weird, but okay. And after the match, Kylie Rae raises Masyn Holiday's hand, or no, doesn't raise it, she shakes Masyn Holiday's hand, and it goes on for quite a bit. I was like, oh damn, there's gonna be an attack, or no, nothing happened, just suspiciously long handshake. We also go backstage where the Vanity Project is sitting in their own room hanging out a bit, but Jackson Drake is pissed at the Vanity Project for talking about various different things and not focusing on the major issue, who his #1 contender is going to be. And he's upset because he feels disrespected, because why is he going to find out who his #1 contendership is with all of the rest of the fans? He feels he's above that. But that's when Kelly Armstrong comes up, and they do have a bit of a confrontation because they're the two first Evolve champions before Kelly Armstrong walks off. And tonight we're gonna find out who Jackson Drake's #1 contender is gonna be, and it's quite a reveal. We also get Tate Wilder backstage. He's very upset too because Ridge Holland is ducking him. He's trying to get a match with Ridge Holland, but Ridge Holland is not responding, and Draco Knox is just there hyping him up, telling him, yeah, you go do it. So Tate Wilder is going to go find Ridge Holland and make him give him a match. Then the following match is a tag team match, Adrenaline Drip, Cappuccino Jones and Jack Cartwheel versus Blue Chip Athletes. I don't think they have an official name yet, but it's Holly Riggins and Jack Presley. They said earlier in an interview they're Blue Chip Athletes, so I think, just gonna call them that from now on, just keep that in mind. During the match, we also have It's Gal and Jamar Hampton looking on. This is also a tag team that I'm really curious about. I really like their backstage segments. I want to see more of them. But focusing on the match, before we get there, I want to talk about the tag team division. It feels like we're slowly building up, figuring out this whole tag team division on Evolve. So I have a feeling that we're going to get Evolve Tag Team Championship soon. And I wouldn't mind it. I mean, you have these two tag teams in this match, Jamar Hampton and It's Gal. You have Swipe Right. But I feel like we need to take a lot of these tag teams and put them on NXT, because truly the NXT tag team division sucks. I feel like Cappuccino Jones and Jack Cartwheel, Adrenaline Drip, they would fit in instantly. They're really hyped, they're really cool baby faces. I feel like they'd be very beneficial to the NXT tag team division. And same with Swipe Right. I know they're with the Vanity Project, but I mean, they're a cool heel tag team. They get the fans engaged, they have a unique gimmick. I just feel like to breathe life into the NXT tag team division, we need to take some of these cool Evolve teams and put them there. And with the rumors of The Righteous coming to NXT, they're a former AEW tag team, I feel like we should just go all in rebuilding the tag team division, because since Fraxium left, it's been horrible. But anyways, this match ends up in a surprising result because Holly Riggins and Jack Presley beat Adrenaline Drip. Not a result I was expecting, but I am happy for them. They looked good this match. They looked really solid. They have this really cool finisher where Holly Riggins, I believe, throws Jack Cartwheel into a spear from Jack Presley. I'm still figuring out who's who, so apologies for that. But yeah, good result. I'm happy with this. I would just like to see some of these tag teams just get thrown into NXT. Instead of developing tag teams for Evolve, let's develop them where it really matters on NXT. And then we get to the main event segment where we reveal who the Evolve #1 contender is. Stevie Turner comes out, she tries to talk, she tries to make the reveal, but the Vanity Project come out. Swipe Right compare themselves to LeBron James and Steph Curry and say Jackson Drake is Pat Mahomes. No, fuck no. But before they can really keep going, keep talking their mouth, Keanu Carver comes out and he really wants it. He's just like, you know who's the boss here, you know who's been beating everybody. And yeah, makes sense, Keanu Carver should be the #1 contender. But then Brooks Jensen comes out. I don't really like Brooks Jensen, man. He's so boring to me. But yeah, Brooks Jensen tries to sweet talk Stevie Turner, but then Ridge Holland comes out. But before he can even start talking, Tate Wilder jumps him, you remember from earlier, and they brawl all the way backstage. I swear Ridge Holland might have accidentally hit Tate Wilder in the face, like legitimately, obviously on accident, but really looked like that. Anyway, they go backstage, and then Bryce Donovan starts running his mouth saying Jackson Drake can beat anyone. He can beat anyone put in front of him. He can beat Keanu Carver, he can beat Brooks Jensen, and then Stevie Turner gets the wonderful idea to make it a triple threat match, and Jackson Drake is pissed at Bryce Donovan. Again, I really like this. Bryce Donovan is seemingly the odd one out on the Vanity Project, and he's constantly just being thrown under the bus, although this is really his fault. But hey, I wouldn't mind an eventual face turn. It seems like that's where we're going with him. The Vanity Project just jumped Keanu Carver and Brooks Jensen, but eventually, after a bit of a scuffle, they get overpowered and Jackson Drake gets put through a table after being thrown out of the ring onto the rest of the Vanity Project, and that's how we end Evolve tonight. Again, this was a really solid episode. I liked how we had the men's division built, the women's division built, and we had the tag team division built. I really hope we get tag team championships for Evolve. If not, I really hope a lot of these tag teams go to NXT. That's what I would prefer. But hey, this episode was great. I loved it. A lot of people got a spotlight. A lot of new people appeared. Just some great stuff. So if I had to give tonight's show a rating, I'd say it was a solid 8 out of 10. I feel like Evolve's really getting its groove now. Really starting to, find its place. I just hope that it keeps being consistently good so that more people can watch it, because I really think it's a very underrated show. Not a lot of people watch it, and you really should. If you don't watch it, I believe it's free most of the places. I watch it for free. I get it for free on YouTube. So really just take an hour out of your day. It's really worth it. But that's it for me. If you like my review of Evolve, please leave a like and subscribe. I cover Evolve every week along with NXT and TNA and all of the pay-per-views from all of these shows. So you definitely should tune in for that. So I hope to see you guys again soon. Goodbye, everyone.